it's a very strange situation to find yourself predicted by an algorithm. And definitely we enter in a zone where we are continuously nudged by situation where we are proposed things that we actually like because the prediction is more and more accurate and sophisticated and multimodal. And so we enter in a kind of freedom laziness that I call predictive data caging, because we are predicting our behavior based on the past traces, the past digital traces we left on internet. And so it's kind of a cage that is constraining and nudging our next move. We are transitioning, thanks to predictive behavior and to the sophistication and adaptability and this seamless interaction we get through new wave of AI, to a situation where our traditional information space that was based on news, that is then later editorialized and transformed by newsrooms and have different flavors, was still about the same topic. And we could share a common informational space. The adaptability of technology and the AI-mediated information ecosystem has a difference, that it's actually tailoring information to an extent that we might end up in fragmenting this common information space and end up in little bubbles of one, and the general audience is transforming into an audience of one.
Yes, so let me start with saying that the Council of Europe and the Journalists Matter campaign, first of all, feels at home here at the Voices Festival, which is a festival that puts light on the journalists and their role for the societies, but also on the difficulties they are going through, starting from harassment, attacks, and even murder, just for the work that they are doing. This is why the Council of Europe launched this campaign in 2023, based on a ministerial decision of the ministers responsible for media from the member states of the Council of Europe to carry on this campaign at national level. We are halfway through the campaign. We have achieved some progress, but more needs to be done. The campaign set a network of focal points, people that are responsible and are in touch basically with the Council of Europe and national institutions on issues that regard safety of journalists and media freedom. They were also in charge of setting the so-called campaign committees, which are coordination mechanisms that bring together institutions, media actors, and civil society to assess the challenges the journalists are going through at national level and to work on measures to improve their safety. Where possible, they are also asked to draft and implement national action plans for the safety of journalists. This campaign is not just about institutions, it is about people. We do work with institutions, but also with the journalists, so I'd like to take advantage to invite journalists to join this campaign, because it is about them, to make it visible and to get in touch also with us. Finally, we're going to launch a new component of the campaign this year to try to involve the youth that need to be empowered, also in the process of policy making, not just to inherit policies from other generations without being part of it. And that's it. Journalists matter.
It's very important, because usually when we hear literacy, we only think about education and formal education, and that's really key. We need to work on that and to step up the efforts on that front. But if you think about the fast pace of changes of technologies and the time it takes to reform curricula as well, it's not enough. So we need to have a really whole society approach when it comes to media information literacy, and to go beyond schools. So we need to work with civil society organizations, regulators, tech platforms, etc. Because also the issues that media information literacy is trying to address, such as disinformation, harmful content, is not just a question for the younger generation. It's also a question and a challenge for each and everyone.
So the first thing I want to point out is that simplification is not trivialization. It's not the same. So simple as, for example, if you have explainer engaging videos with lots of infographics, with engaging music, for example. And trivial would be an angle that you take to a certain topic. So you can have a great TikTok of a politician's speech in the European Parliament about an important topic that you can illustrate with graphics, and you can simplify by doing that, even illustrations, even funny illustrations or even memes, but it can still be essential and substantial. But you can also report about that speech, taking out a very sensationalist point, trying to make it into a hook, a short and very explosive hook. That's trivialization. So news can be simple without being trivial. And that's something that, that the media outlets need to learn how to do in this new environment.